In this video, we're going to cover how to optimize your profile and account. So if I go to my friend Jay Shetty, so throughout this course, I'm going to use loads of different examples across all different types of industries and all different types of products and services, or if you're an influencer, I'll use some of those as well. So you get a really wide variety of case studies that will sort of bring all of my strategies to life. So in this first one, I'm going to use Jay Shetty, who's a friend of mine, and you may have seen him on social media. He's absolutely crushing it. So he's got 946,000 followers on Instagram right now. On Facebook, as you can see here, it's like 14 million. So yeah, he's doing really well, and he's got a great Instagram profile that's got a lot of really good tips that you can use to optimize your profile and account. So the first thing is to have a really clear and easily spelt username. So if you see right at the top, Jay Shetty has just got his name. So ideally, if you're like a brand, use your brand name. If you're a person, use your name, and then just keep it as simple as possible. So your name might not be available because there's over 1 billion Instagram accounts now. So what you need to do is just make it as easy as possible for people to spell, or if you need to tell someone in person like what your username is, just make it easy for you to convey that, so it's not like a random string of letters or numbers or like punctuation like full stops or whatever. So that's the first thing. Just make it really clear, simple, and easy to spell. Now, the second thing is have a bright profile photo, and the reason is that when people are scrolling down their feeds, having a bright profile photo, it just sort of catches their eye and makes them pause that split second. That may sort of increase the likelihood that they're going to check out your content or your profile. So as you can see here, Jay's got a really bright pink background on his, and that really stands out. And now the next one is the actual bio. So this is all the text underneath the profile, and there's I'm always amazed that there's some Instagram courses that spend like 2 hours like discussing what to put here, and like that's just way over engineered. It's really simple. So I focus on including 3 pieces of information, and you can sort of convey that however you like. The first thing is you need to say who you are and what you do. So that's just a quick summary of, you know, what you're about and why people should sort of pay attention to you. And now the second one is you should actually say why people should follow you. So this can be like some credentials of yours, or what you're going to be posting about, or sort of what topics you cover, that kind of thing. And then the third thing you want to include is a call to action. So when someone lands on your page, you don't just want to give them a bit of information about who you are. You want them to actually take an action. So if you're really focused on driving new followers to your account, you can have a line that says, follow this page for daily updates, or follow this page for a chance to win our competition, or something like that. Just a call to action. And as you'll see below this text is a space where you can put one link. So Jay's got his YouTube channel here because that's what he wants to currently grow more than his other channels. So that's a great place to just put like your website or a link to your blog post or whatever it is. You should definitely use that space. And what I see a lot of accounts do, which is totally wrong, is they put the link in the actual bio description above, but that's pointless because you can't click on that. Only this link space here is where you can put a link. Other than that, it's just pointless because it's just like a random string of letters that no one can actually click on. So make sure you just use the link space for your links. Now, as I mentioned, so those 3 things are what I would include in the actual bio: who you are and what you do, why people should follow you, and then a call to action. So as you'll see on Jay's, he's got a list of what he does. So he's a storyteller and a speaker, and then he's got reasons why you should follow him. So he's got 14 million followers on Facebook, which sort of adds social proof that he's worth following. And then he's just got a list of some of his credentials, like he's in the Forbes 30 under 30. He's about making wisdom go viral. He used to be a monk. So this all sort of builds to his character and sort of gives you a very quick understanding of who he is and what he does and why you should follow him. And then at the end, he's got his call to action, which is subscribe on YouTube. So he's already very big on Facebook and he's quite big on Instagram, but on YouTube, I think he's got less subscribers. So his main call to action is he wants to drive traffic to his YouTube page. So think about what you want to do with Instagram and then use that call to action to focus on your primary objective. So that's what I'd suggest. Now, underneath there, you'll see that Jay has also set up Instagram stories. So unlike posts, which are down here in these squares here, you can also do stories by, if you go to the top, let me just go back here onto the home page. So you can, if you go to your home page by clicking the home icon in the bottom left corner of the screen, at the top left hand corner now, you'll see that story section there. So if you click on your username, you can add a story on Instagram, and then that will come up. And what they are is they disappear within 24 hours. So it's kind of like the Snapchat model of how those stories work. So it's exactly the same as that. But what you can do on Instagram is once you've done a story, you can, sorry, let me just go back to Jay. There we go. So what you can do is you can use stories that you've already published, even if they were like several days or weeks ago, and then you can sort of add them as your highlight reel here. So Jay's got all of his here. So what Jay's done is he's got one which sort of showcases some of his videos on YouTube. He's got some about what he does for his actual job and lifestyle. Then he's got one about his Facebook content, one about his personal life, one about his website, and then one about love, which is like one of the topics he covers. So that's another great way to, if you want to make a really great first impression, post some stories and then sort of include the highlights in this highlight reel, which will add to the first impression you'll make. And then you can also add a unique or sort of customized cover photo to each of these. So obviously Jay's got a really nice pattern here of just simple icons and then the green background. So he's made it look really good and really simple, and that's what you need to focus on. So too many people are either not putting in enough effort into how theirs looks as a first impression, or they're doing the total opposite, which is going way too far and over-engineering it and worrying and complicating things too much and overthinking it. And then they get what's called paralysis by analysis. Like there's so many different things they can do that they end up doing none of them because they just don't know what to do. So just keep it really simple, really straightforward, and make it look as clean and as good as possible. So that's the top half of your Instagram profile and what you want to aim for. Now, after that, this is the other thing you want to do. So when you get down here, you can see all of the latest posts on your account here. So what you want to do here is ensure that this is what I call the bird's eye view. And you want to make sure that your bird's eye view is really engaging to people who land on your account for the first time. So there's no official statistics on this, but in my YouTube course, I talk about that on a YouTube channel's homepage, up to 85% of new subscribers are done on the homepage rather than any individual video. So think about that. On YouTube, people are obsessed with trying to get new subscribers during their actual videos, but what happens is up to 85% actually come from the channel homepage, because what a lot of people will do is they'll see someone's content and then they'll go to their homepage or Instagram account profile or whatever it is, and then they'll have a quick summary of, do I actually want to follow this person? So it's no good having great content and then a really poor looking Instagram bird's eye view, because it might put people off from actually following you. So it's really important to get this right on Instagram as well. So there's 3 different things that you can focus on to make sure that your bird's eye view looks engaging. Now, the first thing is you can have a structure. So Jay here, as you can see, he focuses on like motivational messages and sort of sending out good vibes and talking about life and happiness and fulfillment and inspiration and things like that. But what he's also got is a structured pattern here, this checkerboard. So he does a quote, and then he does like a video or some other content, and then a quote, and then some more videos, and a content, and then a quote. And he just follows that pattern all the way down. So people get a really quick and clear understanding of what he does and how his content is structured. So that's one way to get someone engaged and to follow you, because you're making it very clear of what your content schedule is. Now, the second one is you can focus on attractiveness. So if you don't want to have a structure, you can just make sure that your Instagram account profile is very attractive. So if you look at ASOS, which is a very popular clothing brand, now they've done a lot of the similar things in terms of optimizing their profile. But if you look at their content, it's all really bright, really colorful. It's got a lot of human faces, which is very engaging. I've seen a lot of fashion brands, like they'll just post really boring photos of their clothes, like just on the bed or on the floor or just hanging up, and it's just nowhere near as engaging as having all of these different types of pictures taken at different angles, with different people showing their faces, bright colors, a variety of content between videos and images. So that's what you want to do. That's the second thing you can do, is attractiveness. Now, there's also a third way, and that's just to make it clear what you do. So you don't have to be structured. You don't necessarily have to be attractive either in terms of how your bird's eye view looked, but at least be clear about what you do, because I see a lot of Instagram profiles, they're just posting so much garbage and it's all unrelated to each other. And one of the biggest mistakes I see is someone will have a business account, like something they want to use to make money on Instagram, but then they'll infuse it a little bit with their personal life. And that's fine if you've got like a personal brand or something like that. But if it's meant to be a business page and then you're randomly throwing in pictures of you on a night out with your friends, like that doesn't sort of fit the story very well and it's just a bit random. So either keep it as a business account or keep it as a personal account, or do the blend, but make sure it makes sense and people know that you're doing a blend. So let me give you an example of something that's clear. If we use Motivation Mafia. So they're a motivation page and it's really clear that they give you quotes and sort of infographics and stories about motivational people and sort of images and things like that. So it's very clear what they actually do. So quotes are really popular on Instagram, and what I see a lot of people do, again, which is a mistake, is their post will just be an image of something really random, and then in the caption they'll have the motivational quote. The problem with that is if someone lands on your page, they'll just see a bunch of random photos that don't really make sense. Like why are you posting like a photo of like a house and then a photo of like an animal, and it just doesn't make sense because no one has any idea that you're actually posting quotes because it's in the caption. So what Motivation Mafia has done is they include the quotes as part of their post, and on some it's fine to not have it because you still get a general gist that they're a motivation page and they give you motivational content. So that's the third thing. You can either have a structured bird's eye view, an attractive bird's eye view, or a clear bird's eye view. And of course you can also have a combination of all three to sort of really drive up your quality and optimization of your Instagram profile. So that's how you optimize your profile. The great thing about Instagram is that it's so simple. There's not a lot of different things that you need to do. Like in my Facebook course, there's so many other things that I have to cover, but on Instagram it's literally this simple. And the biggest piece of advice I can give is keep it simple for yourself, because then that means it's simple for your audience, and then that's what they want, because they're only going to spend a couple of seconds looking at your profile. So you need to make it good very quickly and sort of give a great first impression immediately. So that's the profile. Now, I also want to cover settings. So this is just the profile. This is what it looks like to other people, but you've also got settings that work behind the scenes and get your Instagram sort of running the way you want it to. And there's loads of different settings, and I'm not going to cover them all because a lot of them are just basic, very straightforward, very common sense. I just want to focus on the ones that really optimize your Instagram settings and account. So the first one is, and this is the biggest one, you want to have your account set to public, not private. So if you go to account privacy here under privacy and security, you can set your account to private, which means you have to accept anyone who follows you before they can start seeing your content. Or you can have a public account, which means anyone can land on your page and look around at your content and then follow you if you want. So make sure that your account is public before sort of embarking on growth, because that's going to be a huge deal breaker if you're sort of getting people to have to ask permission to start following you first. So that's the first thing. The second one is have a business account, not a personal account. So on this account that I'm using now, I've just got a personal one, but I really recommend using a business one here. And what you do here is you have to create a page on Facebook, and then you can sort of link your Facebook page to your Instagram account, and then you've got a business profile. And the benefits of doing that is, so I've used it for my businesses because it provides, you can do advertising on Instagram, which I think is a really good idea, but you need a business account to do that. And then the second thing, which is equally good, is you get analytics. So what that means is you can see how many new followers you've gained every week, for example. You can see when your followers are most engaged on Instagram, whether it's like a Monday or a Thursday, whether it's at 2 p.m. or 8 p.m. So you can get all of this data, which will help you to post your content at the best times and sort of see how effective your content is, how much your account's growing, what you might need to sort of improve on. You get all of that with Instagram Business. So I'd highly recommend setting up a business account. And the third thing is actually that you also get a option to add additional contact information. So if I go back to Jay, because he has got a business account, I think. Just go here. Yeah. So if you look at the bottom, underneath his sort of row of stories, he's got a message and an email button. So if you've got a business profile, you can add these additional ways to contact you, which is great if you're like a business or an influencer and you want to be reached by email instead of sort of Instagram's direct messaging or anything like that. You can do that with a business profile. So those are the first two settings. Now, if I just go back, oh, there we go. So that was the second one. And now the third one is the comments filter. So here we go. If you see comment controls here in the middle of the screen, if you click that, you can here click this on and off button, which allows Instagram to automatically hide any offensive comments that are posted on your content. So this is a great way to sort of remove any trolls that might be commenting on your stuff. This is particularly good if you're like, I don't know, a political blogger or commentator or something like that, and you will get a lot of trolls from the other side of your political beliefs or whatever it is. It's a great way to just hide comments. And at the bottom, you can also use add your own words. If there's any particular words that you want to block in additional to common ones, you can also add that as well. So I don't know, if you really this is a stupid example, but I can't think of a real one. Like if you hate strawberries, you can sort of filter the word strawberries so it never appears on your profile. Like that's a really ridiculous example, but I can't think of anything else. So yeah, you can do all of that with comment control. So I'd recommend doing that. And then the final one is you want to enable the sharing of your story. So that's a couple above the comment controls here. And you want to just make sure that that's on, because then that means people can add your post to their stories. And that allows your content to sort of expand across Instagram a lot faster than if you turn that off, because it means if you have like a really great post, people won't be able to sort of share it and forward it to their friends. So they're the 4 things that I'd really recommend that you do to optimize your profile. And honestly, that is it. So the rest are quite straightforward. Like you can have a look through these and make sure everything else is set up how you like, but that is honestly the basics. So that's what you need to do to optimize your profile. Whenever I'm starting a new business and it's on Instagram, those are the only 4 things I'll do in addition to optimizing my actual profile with the points I've already covered. So that is essentially the module on how to optimize your profile and account. And the final thing I'll say is if you're just starting out on Instagram and you've got like a new account, then make sure that you've got at least 9 to 12 posts, because another mistake I see a lot of people make is they'll start like a business and then they'll add like one post just saying, hi, we've started this Instagram profile or whatever it is. And then they'll actually start advertising. So they'll start spending money trying to get new followers or trying to get sales, or they'll give money to like influencers to sort of promote them. And they've only got one post on their profile. So whenever they get visitors from their advertising or whatever, they're going to land on that person's profile and they're just not going to follow because it's got one crap post and that's it. So at least have 9 or 12 good posts. And that will allow you to sort of give people a great first impression, show them like a taste of what your content will be about, and sort of demonstrate that your content's actually good and that you're worth following. So that's how you optimize your profile and account, and it's now time for the next module.